right, well, go ahead and take the bailout cash, but if you do, you can't take home more than $500,000 in pay. It is President Obama's new rule for CEOs asking for a handout, and it has Charles worried we could soon be saying goodbye to the United States of America and hello to the socialist states of America.
Yeah, you know, once again, the timing is brilliant. Obviously, no one will defend any CEO that's wrecked their banks to the degree that a lot of these guys have. $400,000 is a lot of money for most of these guys, but this is just the first step in something I really sense it's going to get a lot bigger, it's going to get broader, it's going to cover the entire, first it will cover the banking, and then all the other evil sectors.
But what if it doesn't? What if it's really meant, look, you go to the government, well, you play by the government rules. Old bets are off once you do that.
Well, it's just starting to dovetail with a lot of the early rhetoric from the campaign, and it just seems like a logical next step.
Go ahead, Ben.
Why should they be off, Neil? I mean, our goal is to get the best run banks, the banks that will be able to lend and repay the government, not the most cheaply run banks. The most cheaply run, sometimes the best, but it's not always the best. The goal is to get the best executives we can.
Understood, Ben, but if some of these guys were the best and highest paid, right? If they earned 20, 50 million, they got us into this pickle, then obviously this is not a connection.
You know what? I disagree.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. But let's also remember, we could get very good guys, or we might not get good guys. That's just 500,000 is just a way of irritating and aggravating people. Plus, it's wildly inconsistent. A guy who got the bailout on January 15th can have any pay he wants. February 15th his pay is capped. What's your sense in that?
Well, that's a good point. Go ahead.
Look, we're starting a big national public policy debate here. The American people have looked at these people making $20, $30, $40, $100 million for years, and they've been pissed off about it. And now we have the opportunity to have our say as a country about it. And does somebody who's working for an institution that we, the people, own, deserve to make 10 or 20 times what the President of the United States makes?
But Adam, to that point, no. Well, I think all bets are off when you're taking over and the taxpayers sitting on your board of directors. I do think that when you generalized, as you did at the outset of that, you're talking about people who are pissed off about people who make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Then why won't that extend to Ben Affleck, which by the way would be a very good idea? Actually, I just answered. You know what? That actually is right. It should extend to Ben Affleck. But my point is that where do you draw the line, right?
Here's a sad irony, though, about this one thing, is that all the guys who made all the money and did all the damage, they're sitting on a yacht somewhere in the Caribbean. Look, all this is going to do is prohibit good people from taking these jobs.
If Charles is right, and this leads to more and more government controlling pay, I'm not for it. But I got to tell you, if anybody deserved control pay, it's these guys. What I don't like is they're not grandfathering in the bad guys from the last year. They're just going forward with this. The other thing is unintended consequences. If I'm a guy at a bank and I'm only getting paid $500,000, I can go to another bank and get paid $10 million. I'm not staying at this place, so that's going to be interesting how that ends up.
That's assuming
this is so not socialism. It's not even on the banks that have already taken money. You take more government money, you're going to get your pay cap. When you take out a loan from the bank to buy a house, there are conditions. You can't build a landfill on the land next to your house. That's a condition of the loan. This is all this is.
Yeah, but no one has ever given me the loan in the past and told me to cut my pay, right?
No, it isn't, Dagan. As much as I love you, it isn't just a condition of a contract between two equal parties. It is a diktat by an overwhelming, overbearing government. And we've had experience with wage and price controls way before Dagan was born. Way before Dagan was born in 71, 73, 74. We had wage price controls. They didn't work. They're not going to work this time.
Why if the government, though, takes a stake in an institution, shouldn't we, the taxpayers, have some sort of say in the pay? In any normal, reasonable transaction, it would be that way.
Should we cap the pay at Boeing or McDonald's or Lockheed? I mean, we do a lot of business with them.
Maybe.
The government does business with almost everyone. Should we cap their pay?
There's a difference between an ownership interest
that's just bullshit.
and
no, that's
doing
just because
business.
You're jealous. That's because you're jealous that they make so much more money than you do.
Well, the whole section here got me ticked off because I just found out other anchors here are getting paid. That did not sit well with me. All right, well, the CEO's making big bucks. Who can make you big bucks, too? Our guy.